Fat Joe is being accused of over 150 pages worth of claims for trafficking. Same as Diddy, but a civil lawsuit. And the victim is looking for $20 million in damages.
Rapper Fat Joe has been hit with an explosive $20 million lawsuit for allegedly coercing his ex-Hypeman into thousands of sexual acts. In a graphic 157-page lawsuit, Terrence T.A. Dixon accuses Fat Joe, whose legal name is Joseph Cartagena, of more than a decade of abuse. The details so disturbing that there's a big trigger warning in the red on the first page of that filing. Dixon alleges that in the lawsuit, Cartagena forced him to, quote, humiliating situations, including sex acts, performed under duress and surveillance. Dixon claims he personally witnessed Cartagena engage in sexual relations with girls as young as one of whom Cartagena was allegedly in love with and contemplated leaving his wife for. An attorney for Cartagena says the lawsuit is a blatant act of retaliation. NBC's Stephen Romo is on the story for us. And Stephen, Cartagena initially sued Dixon, and now Dixon is suing Cartagena. Both sides are trading allegations here.
Yeah,
So I didn't know that there was an initial lawsuit from Fat Joe back in April, and then this is a countersuit. But if the former hype man had this information and you were a witness to it and you said nothing, you're not a victim. You're an accomplice. You deserve to have criminal charges brought against you. You will not collect $20 million. You will not pass go. Straight to prison for you and Fat Joe. I didn't even know that was going to rhyme, but I like that. Maybe I'll be a rapper myself. But that's if the accusations are true, which I'm hoping that they're not for the sake of the actual victims. But if you were there and you knew this was happening, as you claim, and you said you did nothing so you could keep collecting a paycheck, you deserve prison. Hollywood, or better yet, the entertainment industry in general, it seems like a glamorous life. You see the cars, you see jewelry, you see women. You grow up thinking that these people are living a life. They are certainly living a life, just not the one that you think, and certainly not the one that you want. You have access, these people have access to damn near anything that they want. And this is the choice that they make, allegedly. Now, last week, when Tyler Perry got hit with a $260 million lawsuit, I said, we're about to see the second wave of Me Too. There was an actor for one of his shows. Tyler Perry was relentlessly pursuing him, and the guy was all too comfortable with the situation until his show didn't get greenlit. Then he wants to turn the crowd wolf. I called it last week, and this is only going to pick up more steam. We're going to see more people throughout the rest of 2025 say that they were mistreated and unknowingly coerced. And I don't believe it. I'm telling you right now, I don't believe it. Because you mean to tell me that you were trying to extort Fat Joe with information that you had, and he was making you sleep with 4,000 women? Nah. That sounds entirely too wild to me to be true. Do I think that celebrities are capable of doing all kinds of wild stuff? Of course I do. Money makes people do some pretty wild stuff. So rappers flashing it or, showing it off or showing off their jewelry, there's a certain type of woman that is jumping at the opportunity that's being presented to them. And we're already learning about the code names and all this stuff that Diddy was doing. So teaching Fat Joe the freak off tips and tricks, that ain't that far fetched. But do I think that this guy, the hype man, was unwillingly forced to do each and every one of these 4,000 events? Nope. No, I don't. And I can't be convinced otherwise. This is the same playbook. We've already seen this before. You are in somebody's crew. You're working with somebody. You guys fall out. You need some money. Now I'm allowed to say, oh, you made me uncomfortable and sue you. This is a hype man. You are out at the shows. You're in the mix. He's going to get some of the residual attention. But you want me to believe with my developed adult brain that you never willingly participated in anything? And what is a hype man? If you got to pay a man to cheerlead for you and tell you that you're doing a good job, that don't sit right in my spirit. But it ain't my money. Either way, this is the second wave of Me Too. So be on the lookout for more of these instances. We're halfway through 2025, and we've already had Shannon Sharp. We had Tyler Perry last week, and now we have Fat Joe.
A lot of allegations here, but the lawsuit filed today has a lot more graphic content, if you will, Tom. Cartagena actually sued Dixon back in April on allegations that, as a former employee, he was trying to extort him for money. Well, Dixon's suit that was filed today is a lot more than just a typical employment dispute. The complaint does accuse Cartagena of underpaying him, but it goes on with many more allegations, claiming Cartagena would bring women to hotel rooms and make Dixon have sex with them in front of him and others. It also alleges that Cartagena would fly underage girls into the U.S. from Europe and that he paid for plastic surgery for one of them, and claimed that the minors were frequently cut off financially and discarded when they became non-compliant. Now, Cartagena's attorney claiming that
if that's true, and you were a witness to that, you got to go to jail, man. You can't just say these things and be a party to these things and then come back later and say, oh, yeah, I'm just going to sue you and damn to the people that were victims at the time. You need to go to jail. This doesn't need to be a civil case where you can get some money and you can win in the end. You are a villain just like the person that you're accusing. Y'all got to go to jail together.
those claims in this lawsuit are complete fabrications and lies, and saying, quote, the lawsuit filed by Tyrone Blackburn and Terrence Dixon is a blatant act of retaliation, a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the civil suit we filed first. Of course, referencing that lawsuit originally filed back in April, Tom.
So we have another famous rapper being hit with a RICO charge, and we talked about Sean Diddy Combs' trial earlier in the newscast. He's also, of course, being accused of building a criminal empire here, and several of the people connected.
That's why I'm going to go ahead and end it. They go on to say that they have some ties in terms of their lawyers and all of this stuff, but people got to stop being a party to the stuff that's happening around them. If you see something with the person that you're working with the person that you're getting money with, and they're doing something illegal, especially what Fat Joe is being accused of, and you're just standing by, you don't get to come back later and say, oh, well, they made me do that. No, it's not just a matter of you being paid by them. At some point, you're choosing to be a party to the things that are going on around you. You're an adult, and you're an adult man. Have a backbone to stick up for the people that you're saying are the victims here, because they can't stick up for themselves. You don't get to get 20 million now that you're saying that your wages weren't what they were supposed to be. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't like it at all. We got to stop this stuff. We're looking at the second coming of the Me Too movement, where people are just trying to get money after falling out with these people that they work for or have relationships with. It's sad. It's a money grab. It's clear as day. It's a money grab.